So Floyd Mayweather, we talked about this briefly, but Floyd Mayweather will be fighting Logan Paul in like an exhibition, and there's a lot of people in the boxing world that's not really cool with this. They're not really happy about it. They pretty much are saying that it's a mockery to boxing. We saw Jake Paul fight that UFC. In fact, we've seen Jake Paul, who is the brother of Logan Paul, fight Nate Robinson. That didn't go too well for Nate. And we saw Jake Paul fight homeboy from the UFC, and that didn't go well either. And a lot of people are upset, saying that this is pretty much a mockery of boxing. And I disagree. I'll say this: two things can be true, and two things can exist. You can have what we're seeing with the Logan Pauls and Jake Pauls and these type of fights, and you can have real, boxing. Like, hell, Canelo was supposed to fight, I think, if it's not this weekend, of course next weekend or something. Like, what this does is, to me, it draws attention to the sport. And for the longest, I think that the attention has been away from boxing. Nobody, of course we have the Wilders, we have the Tyson Furies, the Anthony Joshuas. Of course we had Canelo. But boxing has struggled with catching the non-purist fans, catching new fans, in my opinion. Of course, if you're a diehard boxing fan, you're always going to be a diehard boxing fan. You're always going to love boxing. That just is what it is. But what boxing has struggled with, and that's the same thing that baseball has struggled with, is drawing newer, younger audiences. And this is exactly what this does. You're getting the YouTube sensations. You're getting people that love to follow Jake Paul, love to follow the trolling that he does. You're getting people that love to follow Logan Paul and the trolling that he does. And while no, I don't think that this should be considered real boxing, I do think that it is drawing attention and bringing people that wouldn't care less about watching boxing at all unless you're like a purist, and these people clearly are not. So I think, of course, I don't think Logan Paul has a chance against Floyd Mayweather, but I do think that it is intriguing to watch. I do think that it's good to see, as far as you're bringing more people to the sport of boxing. Against boxing like baseball has a problem with adjusting with times. Of course, you got Top Rank, you got Showtime, you got the PF, you got boxing leagues, but they have a tough time not holding to tradition. And as you're seeing, this to me is bringing more light to the sport. I'm not saying that this should be considered the greatest boxing ever, but I do think that it's important to have this because you're bringing on a new audience, something that boxing has struggled with for years now. Again, I'm not saying boxing sucks. I'm not saying boxing is dead. What I'm saying is you have that niche of fans and the niche of diehard purists, and you've struggled with getting the younger crowd or getting new crowds. Now that the Floyd Mayweather's fight, there's a lot of people that's going to watch this fight that has no idea about Floyd Mayweather, but know everything about Logan Paul. There's a lot of people that watch that fight with Jake Paul and the UFC dude that knows absolutely nothing about the UFC dude, but they know everything about Jake Paul because of the I guess stardom that they bring from YouTube and stuff. So while no, I don't think that this should be considered, the greatest boxing ever, I do think that it is important for boxing, and this is a time where boxing is adjusting. So now you're going to get people, wow, that was cool. Let me go see some more about boxing. Let me go see who this Canelo is. Let me go see who Tyson Fury is. Let me go see who Anthony Joshua. Let me go see who Lopez Filippo. Let me go see about these people. So, yeah, I do think that you're going to be getting a new audience. So I think at the end of the day, it's doing what it's supposed to do, and that's be a draw, like drawing attention.